Midoriya's team witnessed the power of All for One, causing them to be so frightened they couldn't move. Suddenly, Bakugo was teleported there, surprising Midoriya. At this moment, the villains also appeared. He realized that Tamura's plan had failed, but he still comforted Tamura to try harder, and he would do everything to help Tamura, while Midoriya was worried, but he still regretted not saving Bakugo last time. So, Midoriya immediately tried to find a way to rescue Bakugo, and he forced his body to act. However, Midoriya was stopped by Lita. Even though they were very scared, they wanted to rescue Bakugo with Midoriya. Suddenly, All for One sensed that All Might had arrived, and he attacked All for One with a powerful blow, sending everyone flying, which surprised Midoriya. But All for One said, "You have weakened All Might." Bakugo was surprised that he could block All Might's punch. All Might said, "I will defeat you once again." So, he immediately rushed to attack All for One, but All for One created a massive gust of wind that blew away All Might, revealing that he had combined 4 different quirks to create that attack. All for One realized that All Might would soon return, so he used black tendrils to pierce Kurogiri's body. It turns out he wants to coerce Kurogiri into using his quirk. Thus, a warp gate appeared, and he told them to quickly leave, but All Might immediately returned. So, All for One began fighting him, while the villains were trying to take Bakugo away, making Midoriya worried, because All Might was being blocked by All for One. At this moment, Bakugo tried to resist them. Midoriya realized All Might wanted to protect Bakugo, so he couldn't fight comfortably. Suddenly, Midoriya came up with a plan. Thus, Midoriya immediately discussed the plan with everyone, while All Might was still being held back by All for One, making him very worried about Bakugo. Suddenly, Midoriya's group sprang into action. He and Iida immediately grabbed Kirishima and ran outside. Shoto created a large ice ramp for them to slide on the ice, surprising the villains. When All for One tried to attack them, All Might immediately struck him and sent him flying, because Midoriya knew Bakugo wouldn't accept his help. He let Kirishima handle this. Kirishima immediately told Bakugo to grab his hand, so Bakugo promptly used his quirk to dash towards them, and he caught Kirishima's hand, making Tamura furious because Bakugo escaped right in front of him. Then, Magna used the magnetism quirk, and he threw Mr. Compress to chase after them, but he was immediately intercepted by Mount Lady, making them surprised. When he was about to try again, Gran Torino immediately defeated them, making Midoriya surprised. He felt that Midoriya was becoming more reckless like All Might. Thanks to that, they rescued Bakugo. Now, All Might could fight against All for One with peace of mind. Suddenly, All for One continued to coerce Magna to use their quirk, and he immediately pulled Tamura's group inside the warp gate. But Tamura didn't want to leave, because he realized that All for One's body was very weak. When All Might attacked All for One, he immediately shifted Gran Torino to serve as a shield. All Might saw that All for One was about to kill Gran Torino, so he blocked All for One's attack, which pushed All Might back. At this moment, All for One mocked All Might for being too busy, because he had too many people to protect, which made All Might furious, because he was the one who had destroyed their lives. So, All Might immediately rushed forward and grabbed All for One's hand, and he punched him straight in the face. Gran Torino realized that All Might was reaching his limit. Unexpectedly, All for One could still talk. He mocked All Might's mentor, named Shimura, which made All Might remember the first time he met his mentor. He had told Shimura that, "I want to become the symbol of peace, to be a pillar of support for everyone." This surprised Shimura. Because All Might was quirkless, Shimura found All Might very interesting. At this time, the city was in chaos. Shoto and Momo managed to escape, so both of them immediately contacted Midoriya. Midoriya announced that they had successfully rescued Bakugo. Bakugo and Midoriya realized that staying there was just hindering All Might. While All Might landed a powerful punch on All for One, but he kept mocking Shimura and All Might continuously, making All Might furious, because he wouldn't allow him to insult his master. But he still said that Shimura is a disgrace to him. Even her fate is also a very tragic ending, making All Might unable to restrain himself anymore. So he immediately attacked All for One, but he blew All Might away with air cannon. Luckily, Gran Torino managed to catch All Might in time. Gran Torino said he was just trying to make All Might lose his calm, so he helped All Might calm down. During the live broadcast of All Might and All for One's battle, everyone was surprised. Meanwhile, Midoriya's class is very worried about All Might. All for One said, "Though I killed your master, You've also taken everything from me. This made him very angry, so, All for One continued to use air cannon. All Might realized he was aiming at a civilian behind him. Thus, All Might immediately intercepted that attack. Unexpectedly, All Might's body began to shrink, causing everyone to be surprised and ask, is this skinny guy really All Might? While Midoriya was in shock, because All Might's secret had been exposed, due to injuries from the previous battle with All for One, All Might's body had weakened. At this point, All for One continued to mock this form of All Might, but All Might remained determined and said, no matter how weak I become, my heart will always be the symbol of peace. All for One revealed a secret to All Might suddenly. Tamura is actually Shimura's grandson, which shocked All Might greatly. It turned out that All for One had been orchestrating Tamura's confrontations with All Might all along. He saw that All Might couldn't smile anymore, which amused him greatly. All Might remembered the words of his master. A hero not only saves people, and a hero must also save their souls. At this moment, All Might was in shock, because Tamura truly was his master's grandson. But the girl behind him was pleading for All Might's help. Suddenly, Midoriya noticed everyone cheering for All Might, so he and Bakugo shouted as well. Unexpectedly, this helped All Might regain his resolve, and he immediately used One for All once more. Gran Torino realized All Might was pushing past his limits, which amused All for One greatly. As he prepared to strike All Might, suddenly, he was held back by Endeavor. He couldn't believe All Might's body had deteriorated to this extent, because Endeavor had always trained to surpass All Might, but he still couldn't catch up to All Might. At this moment, other heroes also came to help All Might, because they all hoped All Might would win, while everyone was cheering for All Might, because he is their number one hero. Suddenly, All for One blew away Endeavor, and he immediately unleashed all of his power, because this time he was determined to kill All Might, surprising everyone. So, All for One immediately attacked All Might, and he realized Midoriya is All Might's successor, but he saw him as nothing but useless. So, All Might also unleashed his punch, to directly confront All for One, but All Might's arm reached its limit, causing him to be pushed back by All for One. However, All Might remembered Midoriya, because he is determined to become the symbol of peace for everyone. Therefore, he needs to live, to wait for the day Midoriya grows up. Unexpectedly, All Might managed to punch All for One in the face. Gran Torino realized All Might had transferred the power from his right hand to his left, but All for One continued to unleash his power. Even though All Might's right hand was injured, he still tried to activate the full power of One for All, and All Might punched him in the face. Then, a massive shockwave occurred, surprising everyone. Finally, All Might defeated All for One, making everyone very happy. Even though All Might was exhausted, he still tried to stand up, to fulfill his final task, as the symbol of peace. Suddenly, All Might pointed towards the camera and said, next, it's your turn. Seeing All Might so cool, made everyone happy, but only Midoriya understood the meaning in All Might's words. I can't use One for All anymore, so next, it's up to you. This made Midoriya burst into tears. After the battle with All for One ended, All Might was taken to the hospital. Even though he realized he had no more strength left, All Might still had to find a way to save Tamura, because Tamura is indeed his master's grandson. However, Gran Torino advised All Might to temporarily set this aside, because he still had responsibilities at the Hero Academy. At this time, Shoto had returned home. Suddenly, he saw his father very angry, because Endeavor couldn't accept this weakened state of All Might. Meanwhile, Midoriya also returned home, making his mother very worried. Suddenly that night, Midoriya received a call from All Might, so he immediately ran to the beach. When Midoriya was deeply worried about All Might, unexpectedly, he was punched in the face by All Might, because earlier he had gone to rescue Bakugo on his own. At this moment, All Might said he couldn't fight anymore, because the last embers of One for All had vanished. But All Might saw that Midoriya had escaped danger, and was unharmed, which made All Might very happy. Meanwhile, Midoriya burst into tears, because of All Might's caring words for him. The next morning, the principal thanked All Might for saving all the citizens in the city. However, many people opposed All Might continuing to teach at the academy, so the principal told All Might to visit each student's home, to persuade them. Thus, All Might and Aizawa went to Kyoka's home, but Kyoka's parents still seemed displeased, because the academy didn't ensure their child's safety. So, Aizawa apologized to them, and promised to train Kyoka to become a hero. Suddenly, Kyoka brought water for them and said, in fact, her parents were very excited, because they saw All Might fighting on TV. Next, they went to Bakugo's home, which surprised All Might, because his family was very peculiar and hot-tempered. But Bakugo's mother still had great trust in the academy, so they decided to let Bakugo continue studying there.